Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, B Farm. Thinking right out here in the lab, in the book, doing what I do for you. Oh, we about to get some good stuff coming up, so let's get the party started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through, but it's rhetorical. And if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to Maat, be true. I'm going to pick up off of the Maat concept and right thinkers. Let's talk about these are the actions of a person who living or practicing Maat or right thinker philosophy should include. These are some of the do's and the don'ts and the wills and the won'ts of the philosophy that we practice, aka Maat. It says here, Nuke, ready, Maat. Now my Egyptian ain't that good, so let's break it down so you can understand it too. Give righteousness, order, and truth to who? Humanity. Maat is the ancient art of ethical conduct. Told you, the Ubuntu, that was all about what? Humanity. So Maat is basically about society. She built ethical conduct, righteous living, virtue, and truth. Right thinking aspirants will learn to think and act with honesty, integrity, and truthfulness to what? To promote positive self-development. It's all about you, which will translate into what? You becoming reliable and a responsible leader and a member of society. We need a bunch of them. Not just one or two. No, not a few. We need a bunch of them. Moving on. Next one it says, now, Nuke, ready, Ta in Heka. Nuke, ready, move on up. So they can clean on. Sometimes you can't get over that. I think that's where they got it from. All right, here you go. It says what I just read. Give food to the hungry, feed the less fortunate, and give water to the thirsty, those who don't have. If somebody's in a situation, homeless on the street, you can always give them food or nourishment, not so much money. If they don't, if they want to eat, you feed them. And never say give them money. And if you're in need and you're hungry, you don't get too crass about money. Food will be just fine. Water will do just fine. Because if I gave the money, that's what you should do with it anyway. So you can take out the middleman. Moving on. Get straight to the point. But these are things that if you're a good person, this is what you do. Okay? I ain't saying every person you see, you got to stop and help out. And no. Again, you got to be smart and wise enough, have discernment to pick and choose the needy from the greedy. That's all. And sharing food and drink are primary ways of what? Showing compassion. You think? And promoting what? Caring between human beings and those in society. The Good Samaritan. We can see a person on the ground and 20 people walk past him before somebody stop. So we just got cold. We done got to, so just in New York. I love New York City. Why? Nobody gives a crap. Nobody, man, they don't give a good, they busy, they focused, they got tunnel vision. They got things to do over there. If you ain't with the movement, you gonna get run over. Simple as that. Why? Cause they moving. Man, I don't mind hanging out over there, partying over there, shopping, doing it, but I wouldn't want to live in New York. It never sleeps. I don't want to be there. I need to sleep. All right, my younger day, I loved it. Now, not so much. All right, but that's just the way. But just doing good things makes you feel good. That's a feeling that we don't even have that feeling no more. We're just doing something good for somebody. I still do, because that's what I do. So when you're working to eradicate what hunger and thirst, where first of all start in our community. And also, world hunger should be primary goals of what all of us persons who live by Maat or right thinking philosophy. Hunger, what prevents humanity from achieving its higher goals of peace and harmony. One group can't be happy, the other group, unfortunately, it don't work that way. That ain't harmony. Balance. Hunger is a source of suffering and early death for what? For millions of people around the world. You'd be surprised how many people don't have compared to what we throw away. Sharing food and drink are primary ways of showing compassion and promoting caring between what? Human beings, naturally. This promotes peace and it prevents conflicts. If the person who don't have and the person who have, the person who have help the person who don't have, there's no conflict. But if the person who have looks down on the person who don't have, there's going to be conflict. Simple as that. Human nature. Okay, understand that. Now, next one we get to, this is a good one. Nuke, ready, het, and het. I know het means house. Okay. Give shelter to the homeless. How many people you know help the homeless out? And if you're not one of them, you can't state the claim. Quite, because you ain't doing it either. Unless you're doing it, don't talk about it. Simple. Be about it. Working to provide homes for the homeless and elevating what? The homeless situation in society should be what? A priority for a person, again, living right thinking philosophy or Maat. Why? Because all human beings require proper place to dwell so that they can what? Live well, ordered, and comfortable lives. Well, I gotta get my, hey, what about you gotta do this, I gotta do it. Again, that mindset. Lack of shelter gives rise to what? You ready? To discomfort, and discomfort leads to strife. The French Revolution was because the king and his queen, Marie Antoinette, could kill us about the peasants. Those are lowlifes. Those are the welfare recipients. Those are low income. Those, what we call them now, but back then they was known as peasants. Less than regular people. Okay, beneath them. They want food. Let them eat cake. Remember that phrase? They took her head off. Why? They got pissed off with the situation they was in. They said, listen, y'all can't keep living in the opulence and we live in the no. Something got to change. And the people rebelled. Call it a revolution. We're going to have a revolution, but it's going to be a conscious revolution. Remember I told you that. Let's go. I ain't about physical. No, that ain't working. Okay. Moving on. Didn't work for them, so it don't work. Righteousness, respect, harmony, peace amongst each other, that'll work. Why haven't we tried that yet? We've tried everything but the right thing. If the people in charge ain't trying to do the right thing, the right thing ain't gonna happen. And the guy you just put in office, he ain't trying to do the right thing. And the right thing ain't, that's, moving on. Again, too easy, that's low hanging fruit. I can use them as an example every chance I get. But let's talk about this. Next level. We got a bunch of billionaires in the cabinet running the country. Tidbit. Give comfort. Excuse me. Nuke, ready, sir, and how. It means give comfort to the weepers, suffering, and the disheartened. You got people hooked on crack, oxycodone, heroin, whatever drug of their choice that they can't do without. These people that sacrifice everything for that drug. We should mock and scorn them. We should try to help them. That's a sign of a bad society. Moving on. Pain and suffering are all too prevalent. We see it every day in human life. One of the concerns of people living by Maat, right thinkers, should be to what? Promote compassion and consolation to who? People who are suffering due to any reason, and to promote immediate psychological support, refuge, moral support for those in need of those services. And they're everywhere. I ride an hour and a half to help people. I live in the suburban area. I could just stay in my damn house and just chill. Why? I ain't got that problem. That ain't my problem. There's too much of that going on. I'm here doing my job every day, excuse me. But yeah, that's what they talk about. Those who feel that way. I don't think like that. I don't act like that. But even those that's in the community, they go around the obvious. Why? Yeah. Moving on, that's the problem. Again, these are all societal problems. Not individual, it ain't personal. This is societal problem. That's what I'm trying to bring to you. It ain't personal. Oh, what are you talking about? No, I could care less about you. Sorry. It's a societal thing, okay? It's ingrained in us. We walk right past a homeless person. Moving on. Ours ain't the only society. So don't feel that, no, it's been going on for a long time. Okay, that's the problem. It ain't changed. Moving on. Nuke, ready, Netu, Jenu, Kaher, Nekatu. What? Oh, what? Give protection to the weak from the strong. We got people committing suicide because they being bullied. That went way too far for me. How the world, I can't even conceive that, but that's what I'm saying. We doing stuff now, I can't even bring my mind to how that happened. A person could make somebody take their own life because they just badgering and bullying them, and nobody seems to have a problem with that. Let's talk about this right quick. I gotta get out of here. One of the main concerns of a person living by right thinking philosophy or Maat should be social justice. Y'all talking? Protection for what? The weaker member. I just told you, those who have some issues of society, who are victims. Some of their own circumstances, but some of crimes, or who are less able to what? Help themselves due to mental issues, physical issues, and some of them, a lot of them, addicted to some kind of drug issue. When confronted with other members of society, they get shunned. They're not part of us. So the goal is to what? Assist those people by standing with them to provide what? Moral, if needed, legal, or other assistance. When I went and doing my work like that in the streets, they thought I was crazy because I was actually trying to help. I actually cared. They look at me like, nigga, really? You riding around in this, you got that, you blah, blah, blah. See? Y'all here, I got an hour and a half ride to get here. I'm coming here to do this. Sorry about that, a little personal. But yeah, when I was advocating for this, I was serious about that. Still is. That's what I'm still doing what I'm doing here. I ain't got to go nowhere to do this. Right out here in my lab, but I can do what I do to service and help enlighten you. That's as far as I'm going to say. Why? I'm not doing that. Why? It ain't to my benefit. Moving on. Gas, time, and then to get nothing, man. No, moving on. Tried it, did it. Don't do no. This is my volunteer work right here. Okay. Moving on. That was another problem. Helping those less fortunate. We don't do enough of that. And those who do, why? If they ain't getting paid to do it, they not gonna do it. Ain't no more just volunteering, just going, no. If they're not getting paid to do it, that's a service that won't be rendered no more. It's hard to get customer service and they getting paid. They pissed off, sitting behind the desk, doing their job with attitude. So, sorry. Getting more personal stuff. Let's get out of there. All right, I got one more for you if I take it down. I got two more. Sorry about that. But this one's good. Nuke, ready, reek, and kuman. Excuse me. Give wisdom, counsel to the ignorant. I'm about to jump out my seat. To enlighten those, to educate those, inspire and motivate those, is what I do every day. So I'm on my grind. And I tell my sister, this is like a job. I'm driven to do this. Moving on, let's talk about it. This one, good people just being good people. It's not enough for them no more. We had a bunch at one time. Now it's hard to find them. Ain't nobody volunteering their services. Ain't nobody no, them days is over. If they ain't getting paid, they cutting out everything. Why? Because of the money. Everybody done do it for, moving on. All right, I'm going to get past that. Too getting caught up in that. Now, let's talk about this right quick. Now, one of the main goals of a person living by Maat, right thinkers, should be to what? Train what? Other human beings. Teaching, training, helping them out, advising. What? In the precepts of Maat. I just broke it down for you. Just give you the old and the new. This is what I do. So understand that. And I'm living by the rule that they set forth. Every way we talk about, I've done and still doing. Okay, so I'm living by Maat to this day. And watch this. The goal is to raise what? Leaders of themselves who will study the ancient philosophy like I did. And I could care less about any Harvard graduate. Any of y'all, Stanford could kill that. I'll smack all y'all around. Why? I got ancient knowledge. Y'all got scholarly knowledge. That's good in academia. I got real life knowledge, okay? Streetology master, PhD. And to be able to transmit it to what? To others in society. I can go in the hood. I can go anywhere I want and help somebody out. Why? That's where I come from. I can always go home. I ain't leave him. I just moved out and got a better situation myself. But I ain't never not gonna go home and do what I do. Come on, man. And this will promote what? Again, promote the formation and growth of what? A well-informed segment of the population. I'll call y'all right thinkers. Some of y'all want to go by the name of Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Who will what? Who will now be able to also promote peace, justice, understanding, and reaching spiritual enlightenment. Ding, 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 ding. I love that word because that's the whole goal for spiritual beings, to become enlightened what? To themselves. It's a play on words. Spiritual enlightenment. Become enlightened to God. God is a spirit inside you. You should know that. When you get enlightened, that's what that means. You become aware of who you are. You know now that God resides in you. That's enough to get you through here on this earth. I said I was done. I said I got a few more minutes. I'm going to hit you up with one more. Nuke, ready, depth, in depth. That means give opportunity to the discouraged. When somebody's down on their luck, somebody's down on this situation, you don't want to kick them. You don't want to be trying to check time and give them a whole bunch of nonsense. We do that to family and friends, okay? Having become wise, that means you've done something, experienced something, and acting with virtue. That means you become a better person. I can attest to that. Again, I'm still on point. And when you're teaching your ancient right thinking philosophy, aka Maat philosophy, and you're assisting others, I'm talking to myself. Others in what? Immediate and long-term need, a person living by Mayat will what? Will thereby eventually try to assist them to become stronger, to help themselves, to know themselves. Sound familiar? Every human being needs to know themselves, to have the opportunity to at least to develop and discover themselves, the meaning of life, so that as to grow and to develop to their what? Full potential. Being your best self. Knowing yourself. There's some things you can do to make that happen for yourself. Anybody can do it for you. Therefore, justice and equal opportunity, which we don't have going on in society today, those are the essential human concerns and should be for all people. But it's not. We like to pick and choose who we like, who we don't like, what we like about them, what we don't like about them, and that's the criteria. That's just all wrong. Are they doing what they say they're going to do? If what they say don't match what they do, don't trust them. I'm a politician and preacher. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, hold them accountable. Don't let them just tell you a whole bunch of nonsense that you know it is and you still let them tell you it. He's standing there. You watch him. Yo, my man, you peeing in my face? No, dog, it's just raining. Me and my best friend had a fight, but I peed on him by accident. But some things you just ain't gonna allow. And peeing in my face ain't one of them. Let me read one more paragraph before I shut it down. I see my clock. Mayat, again, professes what we call a selfless service. And it is an important aspect of your character. And from chapter 33 in the book, Coming Forth by Day, here the initiate states what? Him or her qualifications to follow this philosophy, to be allowed into the inner shrine to even see and become one with the soul. That means you're willing to put your heart to the test and pass the feather Maya to go be with God. Conceptually. That means the things that you had to do to get there, that's what you put your faith in. The action that I'm confident in what I'm doing, how I'm doing now, that I'm good to go in this position. Why? I'm living it. I'll become a Sar. That's becoming one with the same supreme being. If you serve him in earnest, you ain't got no worries. That's why most people, they just as happy and content. Why? Within themselves. That's where peace starts. That's where happiness is and begins within you. When you find it, you're good to go. What? Into the end of the physical body, because now you're going on to eternity with that same feeling. That's the difference. And they understood that. We want a whole bunch of superstitious concepts that don't serve nothing. Know for yourself. Okay, wrapping it up. I see. The initiate, you state that what? That you helped those in need in various ways. I do it every day. This is one of the greatest and the most secure methods, you ready, of purifying one's heart. That's what the lesson is about. How do you do that? I'm giving you a breakdown for it right now. By becoming righteous and virtuous, because it makes one humble. My pastor is the most humblest brother I know. And I'm learning from him how to be humble. Why? He don't take credit for nothing. My ego tells me, yo, man, you gotta get a little bit of that. You gotta take some. No, he give God all. I said, I'm learning. Just leave it there. All right. Again, we do this thing different, but the results are pretty much the same. He do it his way. I do it my way. God recognizes both, so I'm good. And watch this. It effaces the ego. I just told you, my ego said, yo, man, take some of that. See? He completely effaces ego. Me, on the other hand, I let the ego hang around. Okay, I carry the ego with me. Why? I may need him at one point in time, and that's the fight. That's that dog in the fight. You never know, my dude. Like the kids say, you carry your gun everywhere you go. He said, just in case. Why? He said, you never know. So I keep the ego with me. You never know, conceptually. But this stops the selfish service is what? A vast area of what? An important one for spiritual practice and informs of what? The major parts of your yoga path of right action. Doing the right thing for no other reason than for the right reason. That's because it's the right thing to do. It don't hurt you to do the right thing. To sneak, connive, and that takes no work. Okay, just being honest, it don't take a lot of work, the thought process, to be honest. I ain't got to sit here and figure out what lie I'm going to tell, what I'm going to tell them to get. Man, I ain't got time for none of that. Moving on. But every human being, what? Needs to have understanding of what? Of the profound implications that a selfless service will provide and how to practice selfless service effectively. Where? In order to obtain your personal spiritual enlightenment, these are things that you have to do yourself. Social order and harmony in the world. Take it out and practice. Take it for a test drive. That means your courage, your compassion, your involvement in other people, just doing the right thing, being nice, and see what happens. Everybody may not reciprocate it, but those who do, makes you feel so good. It just makes you feel good. That's the feeling that comes within. You can't buy, steal, or cheat to get that. It's a natural feeling, and it should be. Well, that's what it's all about. Wrapping it up. Oh, I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. I got some more. Hold on. First, it must be understood that according to Maat philosophy, there I go, the Supreme Spirit, God, aka or Goddess, manifests as what? All creation, first of all, and is also present where? In all human beings. We need to know that. Religion tell you God is up high, he looks down low. God is up in heaven, you got to join him when you die. All that pie in the sky nonsense. Get him, Reverend Knight. I believe that God is in me. The God that's in me, I give thanks, I'm blessed. And why? Because the thing that I can do with the God that's in me, he put God in him. I love that concept. Why? That's what it was all about. And he was a prosperous preacher. Why? Not because he made a bunch of money. The people who followed him prospered also. If your flock ain't growing, when I was in the game, we all ate. Everybody ate. Nobody went without. That's a good leader. That's the difference. And when you're doing it in the right way, which I'm doing now, you ain't got nobody to feed. Why? They don't want what you're serving. They don't want this dish. And this being, watch this, but this being so, one must realize that one is what? Interacting in what? With and through the Supreme Spirit that's in you, in all your actions, in all your speech, and even in thought. Since human interactions have the most profound influence on the human mind, they are the most powerful means of what? Effecting a change in your personality. I knew that was wrong when I was doing it, but when I had to pay for it, that really drove the point home. So understand that. However, if mishandled, that's what I was doing then. I was young. They can be the most effective method of leading a human being to what? Psychological attachments and sufferings as well. A person should understand that Maat philosophy comes to him or her in the form of human beings in need. You taking care of the less fortunate so as to give what? You, the aspirant, an opportunity for themselves to grow spiritually through what? Selfless service of your own. You should know how to offer and give a selfless service. To be successful in selfless service, you, the aspirant, must be able to what? Supplement your ego. Why? The ego won't allow you to give in. Like Malcolm, his ego kept him from bending. He was strong-willed. But once he gave in, he was all in, sold out. Cost him his life. Why? Just being honest and truthful what they gave him. And he thought they were serious, and they wasn't, but he was. Moving on. But once their ego is supplemented and controlled through developing patience and dealing with difficult personality, people of the lower, less fortunate yourself, and without developing what? Resentment or hatred or dislike towards them for who they are. Not taking attacks personally, and developing what? Now you got a keen understanding, your discernment of what? Human nature. I know people. I'm a people person. I knew him from the other side. Now I know him from this side. Ain't too much different. My pastor showed me that too. And human needs. I know I get the people what they want. If you get the people what they want when they want it all the time. I was a drug dealer. All they wanted was drugs. Now I'm a teacher. I give them what they need. They don't need nothing from me. Why? They got it already, so they don't need what I'm giving. Because if it ain't drugs, they don't want it. But that's the difference. And watch this. A selfless service will allow what a human being to do what? Discover sentiments of caring for something greater than the little me. But I'm servicing a higher power, not my ego self. That's what ego self, that little me. And this leads to what? Purity of the heart. Ding, 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 ding. From the gross fetters of ignorance, of anger, hatred, greed, lust, jealousy, envy, etc. From the ego perspective, that's what you live through. That's what you do. And also what? The attachments based on blood relation. Family don't mean jack. And other filial relationships. Male, female, don't mean jack. All of them. For in order to serve in your highest order, taking it home, you must serve all what equally without favorites. As a servant of humanity, one's family becomes what? All human beings. And nature itself. Wow, that's powerful. And I lived this. I'm sitting there freaking out. Yeah, that's the change I made. Yeah. This is the book I got it from. Okay, but therefore, this was years ago. I'm flashing back. But therefore, the cause of environmental well-being is also what? A high concern that's reflected in the following injunction. I'm about to take it out of the Maat philosophy. There are two injunctions that specifically addresses issues of public or selfless service to the community through what? Service to nature and the preservation of nature resources, their natural resources. These two are from the 42 Confessions of Maat. Number 15, it states, I have not laid waste to the plowed land. That means I have not polluted the earth. I told you that. I changed that because I know now I'm going to put garbage in the right place. Okay? I gave into that concept. I'm preserving the earth. I'm a little bit better, more conscious of that. That's all. And last one, 36. I have never defiled the water. Back in the ancient times, that Nile was sacred. Quick joke. The guys in the swimming pool, the guy said, man, you peeing in the pool? The guy said, everybody pee in the pool. He said, from the diving board? But that and then polluting the Nile was taboo. And you had to let that be known. And it says, I have not held back the water from flowing in its season. They built dams to block the water, messed up Aswan's big nonsense. But they're saying you don't do things against nature. That's what they mean. That's the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it took a little long, but those are things that you had to do if you want to be a right thinker or following, practicing Maat philosophy. Right thinkers, again, in closing, may you all let it be 100, me, 100 minus a day. Because we know that Maat followers don't pass away.